Boom! There it is, ladies and gents. Backstreet's back. All right. Yeah, perfect timing to drop it. All right, look, distance isn't an issue. You want to keep connected with friends, family. That's exactly what we're going to talk about in a unique way. So let's get to it. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Is your business in need of customers? Then you found the right show. Hernan Cias is the business bro, and he makes getting customers fun and easy. Watch, listen, and learn as each episode is designed to sell. Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents, let's do this thing. Who do we got on the show today? So, before we get started, just a friendly reminder to like, share, and subscribe, because every time you do, you're helping an entrepreneur find a customer, and a customer find a solution to their problem. And for us, the number one rule in business is to be of service to others. So thank you very much. Let's jump to this. No matter where we are on the planet, no matter what you believe in, we all got to eat. And most people use mealtime as a bonding experience. Today's guest understands that the human connection is valuable and is removing the barrier to connection, aka distance, baby. Sometimes to stay connected, you may want to buy a friend a drink, or while they're on vacation, or in another city or state, or maybe even another country, or maybe thank your parents by paying for dinner even when you're not there. Mother's Day is coming up, by the way, hint, hint. So let's find out how this company is using celebrations to inspire connections. Let's welcome to the show from OpaLinkApp.com, Rohan Doodnauth. Rohan, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Did I get your energy up? I hope, man. At least I got you smiling, right?
Hey, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, especially at 7 p.m. because it's happy hour and Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. That's right, dude. You gotta have some stereotypical stuff, but it's cool because I'm Mexican. I guess I can say that. Get some guacamole, get some chips, get some Coronas, not coronavirus, Corona beer, and have a good time tonight, ladies and gents. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Absolutely right. All right, dude, let's jump into this. Tell me just right off the bat, what is OpaLink?
Yeah, so OpaLink is a mobile app that allows you to send drinks or food items to friends without physically being there. So, for example, what's your favorite restaurant in San Diego?
All kinds. Let's go with the chain. So let's go with Olive Garden. Mom loves Olive Garden.
Okay, so let's say you're at Olive Garden and I'm here in Orlando and you're out with mom, you're treating her to dinner, and I maybe wanted to send you their awesome breadsticks or some spaghetti and a bottle of wine. So what you could do is you open up our mobile app. It communicates with a standalone device at the restaurant, and you're able to receive your breadsticks, spaghetti, and a bottle of wine at dinner with your mother.
Dude, that is super cool, man. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how that works, because I mean, so many different things that you can do. You made it simple while you're sitting there having the experience. So I'm assuming this has got to be connected to some sort of POS system or some sort of network with the restaurants, right? I mean, it's not just like a normal app that you just create. There's got to be some more to it, right?
No, yeah. So it's actually a three-sided model, right? So you have the person, the user that's gifting the gift, and then you have the person that's receiving it, and then you have the restaurant. So we actually are going with the same model, kind of like Uber Eats and DoorDash, where they have a tablet or a standalone device, and the restaurants are actually able to join our network by logging up to become a partner with our in our network. So essentially, they manage just a tablet where they receive orders. They can look at a dashboard that shows their sales, analytics, some data and customer DNA on their customers as well. So, yeah.
All right, super cool stuff. And I imagine that you've had hiccups in building this company. Every entrepreneur does, ups and downs on doing this. So the thing that pushes most entrepreneurs is always that ultimate question of, why? Why are you doing it?
Why are you doing this?
Because I want to know.
Yeah, so basically, my brothers and I, we grew up in a household where, a middle income household in New York City. And our parents, the one thing that they always had on their table was food and drinks. And we always had family and friends over at our house. So we grew up in a household where we were always generous, giving, always giving back to others. Whenever I
There's the
have a
bro shouting
friend.
out right there. See?
Yes, yes, that's my brother. But whenever we're out, my brothers and I are very hospitable guys. We're very social as well, and we enjoy time with family and friends. So, it was actually the summer of 2020. Um, my brothers and I actually moved back to Orlando. I was living in South Florida. They were living in New York, and we are quarantined. So,
Hmm.
we were back together in the same household, playing video games, playing
Uh-oh.
basketball, and just, it was just like we were kids again. And my brother Teddy, his best friend was going out in New York City, and Teddy wanted to send him a bottle of wine while his friend was out celebrating. So Teddy actually called the restaurant, and the restaurant denied his payment because of chargeback issues. So from that point
Hmm.
on, Teddy and Will and I were actually working on another business, and he told me this idea, and we absolutely loved it. We dropped everything and we began working on it. The very next day, we called about 80 restaurants, and only about 6% of those restaurants were willing to take our credit card over the phone. So we saw a huge need there, and we saw a huge problem there as well, and a potential for restaurants to actually gain more sales as well.
And how cool would that be? I mean, you're literally having dinner, friends, family, you send a little picture, somebody's like, oh, dude, that's a great restaurant. I love this particular side, whatever, appetizer or anything, right? Drink. I'm gonna send it to them. And then it just shows up at your table. Like you don't
Yep.
even know, you didn't see, make eye contact. There's nobody else in the vicinity that you know, and yet mom, boyfriend, husband, whatever, has just sent you a cool meal. I mean, dude, that to me right there, that makes the experience in that restaurant much more memorable than just showing up and having a good time, which is already good, right? I mean, that's exactly what we're going for.
Oh, 100%. And what we're actually finding is restaurants nowadays, they have to embrace new technologies that enhance the customer experience, that enhances their overall experience. And what we're finding is, the restaurant and hospitality industry is decades behind every other industry, right? You still have waiters and waitresses that are taking orders on pen and paper, right? The entire industry as a whole needs to embrace these new technologies. And as you've seen in the pandemic, a lot of these restaurants, they had to adapt to online ordering, food delivery services, and those type of things. And especially the food delivery services, right? The food delivery services helped a lot of these restaurant partners grow their business and keep up with sales. However, after speaking to a lot of our restaurant partners that we're going to be onboarding, they were telling us that 15 to 30% of their sales were taken by these food delivery services such as the Uber Eats, DoorDash,
Hmm.
and Postmates, right? So what with OPA, right? We're not essentially taking the large commissions like these other food delivery apps out there, right? So at OPA, we don't have to pay a driver. We don't have the large overhead expenses. So we're able to actually lower that 15 to 30% down to more so of a 3 to 6% of the sales.
That's huge, and it's a big turnaround. I don't think people quite understand the small margins that are involved in like a lot of these restaurants. They don't operate on very big margins already, and if you're squeezing them through some of these other delivery services, it kind of sucks. But you still want to have that experience. The good thing I saw was they were switching over to new POS systems, new app systems, so that they can get these deliveries things. Their technology went up to that next level. So when you're looking for a restaurant that you want to work with, what are some of those ideal clients that you're looking for? What are some of those qualities that you need in a restaurant for them to be able to participate in something like this?
I am looking for qualities beyond the physical.
Yeah, so great question. Some of the qualities that we're looking for are restaurant partners that are really thinking forward looking, right? Restaurant partners that are focused on the customer experience. Maybe they are targeting millennials and Gen Zs, where they're adding, a lot of restaurants nowadays, they're adding scents and smell. They're focused on adding music. They're focused on the decor. Even the type of cups and plates that they have at their restaurants is so key. So, at OpaLink, we're really looking more towards those restaurants that are targeting millennials and Gen Zs and enhancing the entire customer experience on premise, right? Because the pandemic made a lot of these operators focus on off premise experiences. But now that the pandemic is actually slowing down and consumers have this pent out energy to go out to the restaurants, they have to think about new innovative ways to get people in their restaurant on premise so they're not losing 15 to 30% to food delivery services. And with OPA, what if I told you, not only can you gift your friends or family on the application, but you can actually check into a restaurant, and on the application, you can see who else is checked into the restaurant and you can send them a gift at the same time live. So, right here, we're actually creating a fun social environment where people can interact, communicate on the application. And if you think about it, right, we consider OpaLink a social media application. There's actually no food application out there right now, social media application that's targeting just the food, the food and hospitality industry, and that's what OpaLink is aiming to achieve.
That's funny that you. I like how you discussed the way where you can check into a restaurant, your friends can check in, you know who's there, and you can start sending things to each other. Because it reminds me of that Jimmy Fallon and Brad Pitt skit. You ever watch that?
Yep.
So yeah, they're like, hey, thanks, and thank you, and then he sends something else back, and he's like, oh, thanks, and then he sends a bigger platter back. No, thanks. I mean, I can imagine that's the kind of experience people are getting with the app, right? It might not be to that scale, but that's the kind of fun that you have. You're taking dining and making it very entertaining amongst the guests, because every experience I've ever had in a restaurant is secluded to my table, right? Whether it's an excluded event where you're just in one spot, maybe you get a dining area that you rent out for like a little bit of a larger event. But aside from that, it's table to table. There is no communication, no yelling, no nothing. You even have different waitresses, so there's no way to like really, hey, can I send something over there? You guys are making dining out almost like meeting people, like a way for us to mingle while we eat. Maybe not talk with food in your mouth, but to mingle anyways.
Exactly. And just to go back to the name OpaLink, right? So Opa means to celebrate and Link means to connect. So when you're out, you're always celebrations inspire connections, right? That's our slogan. That's our motto. That's what we live by. Every time you're out celebrating with friends and family, or just celebrating in general, you're making connections every single day, right? And you look like a very social character. And I'm sure that you're always out looking to grow your business as well. And with OPA, we found the number one most social thing that people always do is eating, drinking, right? Whenever you meet someone new, you say, hey, let's grab a cup of coffee, or let's grab dinner, or let's grab lunch sometime. So now with OpaLink, right, you can actually be able to gift a stranger a drink, gift a stranger a meal with a click of a button on your application, right? Because if you think about it, on Amazon, you can actually gift people, shirts, or you can give people cups. But when you meet a stranger, you're more likely to buy that person a drink or buy that person a meal than a piece of clothing or material things.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And it's funny because I got a lot of energy and I do love to socialize, but to be honest, I'm more of an introvert. You're giving me the cheat code to stay an introvert and still be part of events and things that are going on outside. Like if I was there in person, or at least in spirit, that's pretty cool too. I mean, you're giving people who don't really want to go out the ability to still show up. I
Yep.
mean, it's almost like a hologram, except better because you can eat what they bring.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you this, right? So yesterday, we all have those days. Extroverted people have those days. Yesterday was one of my friend's birthday, and we were going out to a restaurant here in Orlando called Ava, and I was slammed with meetings back to back, and I was just feeling drained, and I just honestly wanted to open up my phone and send her a bottle of wine, and stay in, right? Because people would appreciate you missing out on events or being a flake, right? If you sent them a bottle of wine or an appetizer while they're at to their table, it's easier to forgive you that way.
Yeah, it's all good, dude. Like, yeah, this guy didn't even show up, but he bought you drinks. Oh, dude, I love that guy. Oh,
That's right.
you're fixing relationships here. I think you're giving me an out, my brother. You're giving me definitely an out. All right, so you got some big things coming up here in the very near future as we finish up Q2 here and start entering Q3. What you got going on?
Yeah, so we're really focused on right now the user experience on our application, and we're getting ready to launch officially in Orlando, Florida. We're going to be launching late Q2, early Q3. We're aiming to launch sometime early July, late June, and we're going to be launching at a cafe and lounge here in Orlando called the Robinson. The Robinson, like we were talking about earlier, really focuses and they're customer obsessed about the experiences. So the operators there, they put a lot of details into their cocktails, into their sandwiches, into their coffee, and they really own that craft. Also, they put a lot of attention into the entire overall experience. They pay attention to the music that they play, the smell that as soon as you walk into the Robinson, you can tell that you're at the Robinson. So we're going to be launching at the Robinson. And our whole thing is we're going to be doing pop-up launches at every restaurant partner that we onboard. So every launch, we're going to be constantly launching. Every restaurant that we onboard, we're going to be constantly launching. We're going to be at our restaurant partners giving out OpaLink merch. We're going to also be there gifting or giving you coupons where you can actually gift your friend a free drink. And then also we're going to be there, highlighting why our restaurant partners are here. We're going to be, the main focus is not going to be on OpaLink. The main focus is going to be on our restaurant partners, getting people out there, getting people back into the restaurants, filling up those restaurants. And, that's mainly what we're going to be focused on.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge plus. Give me a good customer experience and you'll get that customer coming back over and over. They just want to have the same social experience. That's what it comes down to. All right, let's talk about your business itself. Launching an app isn't the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I love that you talked about different launches that you're having, different events, different onboardings to generate that buzz. What are some other things you're doing to acquire some more, essentially, customers?
Yeah, so a couple things that we're going to be focused on, we're really going with this hyper local marketing approach, right? So we realize that the food and dining industry is a $898 billion industry, right? And food and delivery applications, they make up only 8% of the orders there. So it's a huge market, right? If you think about it in terms of sales. So we, instead of trying to tackle all of, the entire industry as a whole, we're going to be focused on one city at a time, right? So we're going to be, partnering up with local influencers and socialites, and basically like I said, every restaurant that we onboard, we're going to be throwing, launch parties for those restaurants, pop-up events, promoting the restaurants, promoting the application, and then also creating blogs, right? Creating content. Nowadays, if you're not creating content that appeals to the millennials and Gen Zs that are on TikTok, right? I've actually downloaded TikTok not too long ago, and I'm learning it, but I see how powerful this tool is. Right? You make a post with a trending noise, and you can gain 5,000 views just like that. As opposed to Instagram, you don't really get that much visibility with your business. But what we're going to be focused on heavily is going to be social media, especially since we're a big B2C business.
Yeah, and again, it is definitely a long road ahead, but I like that hyperlocal. Hyperlocal is really cool. You get the community involved, and you're bringing a group of people who are already local anyway. So you might have multiple restaurants in the same area that one client can visit over and over and over again, having a good experience with your app, and also bringing in sales to that customer. Because at the end of the day, in every single business venture that you're going to partner with, what they're looking for is more customers, right? So if you can help them get more business in the door, you're already winning. What's your like projections? Where are you at right now? I know you're in beta, but where do you see yourself growing?
Yeah, so right now we're still in beta, getting ready to launch with our fully functioning MVP. And within the next year, we're going to be focused on. We're going to spend about 6 months in Orlando, and every 6 months we plan on going to another city. Right, so I see ourselves in a year tackling Miami, Tampa, and then from Miami and Tampa, us actually expanding, going to New York and larger metro cities. Right, so we're going to be focused on metro cities where they have a high population density, and then also a high restaurant density. For example, here in Orlando, we have neighborhoods within our city where they have strips of restaurants within 2 to 3 miles of radius. So a perfect example, in Orlando, we have an area called Winter Park. Right, on Winter Park, there's an avenue called Park Ave, and there's about 30 restaurants on Park Ave. And we're going to be focused on, essentially going to those businesses and letting them know that our product is not going to cost you anything, right? It's a purely commission-based product and service. So basically, our product, it only costs you 6% of every sale that we bring in. So every gift item, we're only taking 6%, and there's no upfront cost.
That's cool, because and you're not asking for 6% off, off anything that you're not bringing in as far as business. There's no other launch commitment. There's nothing like, look, let me show you that I'm going to bring you customers, and the ones I bring you, that's what we'll talk about a split. If I'm not bringing you any business, we have nothing to talk about anyways. I'm not proving my point. I love that. So if people want to sign up, like, what's that process like?
Yeah, so for restaurant partners, they can simply go to our website, which is opalinkapp.com, and they can click on Become a Merchant. And when they click on that, it's as simple as we'll have a sales rep reach out to them, help them set up their portal. And also, the only thing that they'll need is a standalone device, such as a tablet. They can order an iPad or Android tablet. And just like that, they can go live, right? Once they have their restaurant menu set up, they're ready to go. And then for users, you just simply go into the Apple Store or Google Play Store and search OpaLink app, and then sign up. You can sign up with Instagram, Facebook, or just simply your email and phone number.
Simple and easy. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Take as much of the friction out as you possibly can, and then launch. You've got your beta program going on. What's some surprising feedback that you got? Some you might have expected, but some kind of caught you by surprise.
Yeah, so some feedback, some things that caught us by surprise is, initially when my brothers and I came up with the idea of OpaLink, we wanted to tackle, everything regarding the restaurant and dining experience. So as in table management, like reservations, kind of like an open table, along with gifting, and then also in-person dining where you can order on your phone at the table. Right. And when we initially came up with the idea, we had all of these features bundled in together. And we found that the user experience would have been poor if we launched with all of these bundled together. So we really took a step back and realized that being simple and concise with your solution is the number one way for people to understand your business. And, all of those features that we talked about, Toast is actually doing the in-person dining, and Open Table has been around since 2006, tackling table management on an application. So we looked at what's really not out in the market right now, right? And it's the fact that you can't virtually order something for your friends or family without being there, right? So we saw a huge gap in the market, and that's what we're focused on right now. And we really simplified the application, made it super simple that you can open up the app, and within 5 seconds, you know exactly what to do.
I was jotting down some notes while you were talking, and one thing you said was you realized you are offering too much. You were trying to solve too many problems. And it got me thinking of MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, like every single one of them. Now you can go into Instagram, for example, and you can make a story, and you can add a reel, and you can do a post, and you can do IG, like all kinds of stuff, right? But when it starts, this is something new. This is something different. This is something that a culture needs to adjust to. So you narrowed it down to something as simple as possible so that they can understand the concept and the feature. I think the bundle packages that you had originally thought of will evolve eventually, right? The customers will start asking for an additional feature, an additional thing. And the cool thing is you kind of already thought about it. You threw all these ideas on the board, and then they said, which one is going to work? And you narrowed it down and kind of drew a focus, right? So, before we're getting low on time, I want to make sure that I ask you everything and you get your message out. Is there anything that I maybe didn't ask, or something that you wanted to get out to the public?
Yeah, the one thing that we would like to emphasize is to our, potential restaurant partners that we're going to be onboarding. We're really focused on growing your total addressable market, right? Expanding your market reach. So if you're in Orlando, you'll be able to gain a customer that's in New York City or San Diego. And then on top of that, we're really focused on getting people back in the doors on premise. Life is going to be continuing post pandemic. Everyone's going to be, things are going to be opening back up, and people are ready to be out there dining, socializing, meeting, and making new connections every single day. And that's kind of our model, and that's what we live by every day. And, a fun fact that I actually read up was that in 2020, 31% of consumers actually felt safe going to restaurants. In 2022, that number is back up to 72%. So people are ready to get back out there, live their normal lives as we were pre-pandemic. And, OpaLink is here, and we're here to promote a social, fun, and convenient environment for gifting and sharing drinks and experiences.
Oh, and that's what it's all about. And I'd say if run correctly, you can increase that 72% even higher, because there's a population that's staying at home or afraid to show up, or it's just an introvert that can still be part of this. So, ladies and gents, just a reminder, OpaLinkApp.com, or go to your Apple store or your Google store and grab the app. No, look, I know he said he's only going to be in Florida for the initial launch, but it doesn't mean that you can't buy drinks or food or whatever for the people that are already there, and eventually it will come to your city. So you can grab the app, go to OpaLinkApp.com if you're a restaurant, you want to sign up, and if you're just a consumer like me, an introvert who might want to, buy a drink here or two for a couple peeps, download the app. It's in the Google Store, Apple Store. Dude, It's been one heck of a show. Dude, Rohan, what you're doing, I think, is going to revolutionize the experience that you have in a restaurant for sure. And I think it's really cool to be able just to buy things for people without having to think about it. It's just installed, credit card, send it, done. I don't have to think about it. It's over. And I just get the thank yous and the happy thoughts in my mind for being a joy in sending people food and drinks, dude. All right, last thing I got for you is we're big on video testimonials and creating content. So one 30-minute episode on the Business Bros is literally 30 days of content. So what was your experience like on the show?
This was incredible, man. You made it very fun and it was easy speaking to you. It made me feel very comfortable. This was actually one of the first podcasts I've ever been on. So thank you for such an amazing experience. And, I hope to come back on this show as, we progress and grow the business. I would love to come back on and speak to you about it.
Heck yeah, dude. Once you blow up, I'm going to be hitting you up and be like, hey, remember at the beginning, that first podcast that set the bar for all the other podcasts that you were going to be on? Yeah, you remember that guy, that crazy one with the attitude? Yeah. You want to come on the show again? I'll ask, dude. So cool, man. Well, Rohan, thank you very much for coming on the program. Ladies and gents, social apps and dining. I know Mama said don't talk with your mouth full. Now you don't have to. Talk with your thumbs, send gifts, have a great time when you go out to eat without even having to go out to eat. So make sure you guys check it out. That's OpaLinkApp.com and OpaLink in the App Store if you're ready for the app itself. Rohan, thank you very much for coming on the show. Ladies and gents, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And we're out.
All right.
Thanks for watching The Business Bros. If you're ready to get more clients and want to work with The Business Bro, visit our website, www.businessbros.biz, and click on the Need More Customers button, or learn how to generate more referrals with our video testimonial packages. Go to www.businessbros.biz and